So startups usually waste the most time in the mentor meeting talking. And usually it's around describing the business and what the business does.
So two things wrong with that. One is it's all pitch, it's all about the good stuff. And the second thing is it's all about the product.
And sometimes it takes a founder of the whole 30 minutes of a 30-minute long meeting to describe what they do. Remember, you're there to learn, you're there to hear, you're there to listen. And so the less talking you do, the more value you will get out of it.
And so if you give a quick overview of your business and your product, that's great, but do that as quickly as possible so you can sink into the meat of the conversation that you're going to be having.
Hey guys, come on in.
Hey, dude. Patrick.
Patrick, nice to meet you.
Alex.
Alex,
Hi, Zoo. Nice to meet you.
nice to meet you.
Thanks
Grab
for meeting
seats.
with us.
How are the handshakes?
These were all good. They were all good, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So
I'm guessing you're playful.
we are Playful. Yes. And Playful is an app where you can play games and win food from restaurants like Chipotle, Chick-fil-A, Denny's, Coffee Bean, and more. And one big problem we're having is how to scale to new restaurant markets we're entering. And so we would love to get your advice on that.
Great. Let me ask a couple of quick questions
Sure.
about the product. You play an app, so I get an app. If I win a game, I get a free burrito. Is that?
Yeah, you can get discounted as well as completely free meals.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Chuck E. Cheese or Dave & Buster's where you can save up.
And you have an affiliation with Chipotle because you're driving business their way, that they're not only providing the discount, but you get an affiliate fee or something like that?
Yeah, so right now we're charging them monthly, but
Yeah.
yes, we give them all the data, and we actually built...
You're charging Chipotle in this
Yes,
case.
we're charging
Yeah.
Chipotle.
Yeah.
We actually build custom analytics for them
Yeah.
that look like this, so they can see exactly who's coming in, who's engaging with their brand at what time, and also we have a cool map feature, kind of like, we're trying to build it like Pokemon Go, where they can see actually where in the world they're engaging with their brand.
Got it. What's going to break inside Playful?
The user base, because we've been able to do kind of events at UCLA, kind of like doing things that don't scale, to, I guess, let people know what the app is and how to download it, what it does. We're not sure if we can scale that in other areas.
Because you're acquiring users sort of guerrilla style, one at a time, doing events on campus.
Yeah.
And now it's going to be harder if it's not in your home base, if it's in San Diego.
Yeah, and we haven't explored like digital advertising or
Right.
things like that yet. So we probably will do that in Techstars.
He's asking a lot of questions and he's engaged, but he's trying to figure out where he can help you.
Yeah.
You haven't given him yet a clear thing. Like you said, help scale, but then it was so broad that he
Yeah.
didn't really understand where to dig in. So he's trying to figure out where to sort of step in and be helpful, and he hasn't yet. Like he's like poking at little different places to try to figure out where he can be helpful. He hasn't gotten there yet.
Yeah.
So help him, right? Like, okay, you have a list of features. Put the list of features in front of him and say, look at these. Give him something to bite his teeth into, because he's right now, like, he's like, well, I don't know what to do.
The analogy I always use there is I'm using my tuning fork, right,
Yeah.
or metal
The water
detector,
witch or
right? I'm
whatever
trying
it
to
is,
figure out, where is the problem that I can.
He can dig his
into.
teeth into.
I think the problem we're trying to solve is what direction should we go in, and I guess how do you make decisions when you have, I guess, different options in front of you with scaling or marketing your business?
Yeah, I think it runs a gamut from trust your gut to do an analysis. Right? In this particular case, it sounds like there's lots of features. You have an opportunity cost when you're developing them. That's what you're describing.
Yeah.
That there's an analysis that can be done. Doesn't mean it has to be perfect and you should spend weeks on it. It means that you should make a list and do a sniff test and score them 1 to 10 or whatever.
Yeah.
And then whichever one scores at the top, do that.
Okay.
And don't overthink I need to make the perfect decision and suffer from analysis paralysis.
Yeah.
Well, I was just going to pause you there because it felt like a really natural place for the meeting to end, right? He doesn't really know where to go from there, and that's okay. right? It's actually okay. Like he'll probably walk out of that meeting going, cool, I think I helped them a little bit. I probably won't engage with them over the long term, but that's okay, right? He felt like he gave you something, he felt like he contributed in some way, but there wasn't this like, that's something I can really sink my teeth into to help on an ongoing basis. So just to talk about that, like that's an awesome mentor meeting. That's a successful mentor meeting.
I don't know if I'm a prototypical mentor, but probably for most mentors, it's a bell curve, right? There's, out of 10 companies, there's a couple that you're like, wow, that's something I relate to those founders, I relate to that space, I'm going to really engage there. A couple of those, a couple of, I don't even know what that was, I can't even remember their names. And then there's 6 in the middle of exactly how you described it. I helped a little, I understand the business. Maybe if there's a specific question about something that we talked about, they'll call me. If not, that's totally fine.